My name is Michael Vickers, and I'm an artist, and I'm executive director of the Brampton Arts Organization, a local nonprofit that supports thousands of artists and creatives across the city with free supports, resources, programs, and different sort of showcases. I'm also a member of the Canadian Arts Coalition and part of the Urban Land Institute's Urban Leadership program. Appreciate the Board of Trade welcoming me here, and just a big thank you to them for their commitment to the arts, along with the cultural services team at the City of Brampton, who are really our partners in a lot of the work that we do. My hope today with these slides is just to inform more than anything, and hopefully give you some slides and facts that you can take a photo of and keep in your back pocket when you go out into the world speaking about the impact of arts and culture. So don't be shy, it's not awkward. You can take a photo of my slides. I'll give them to the Board of Trade to share afterwards as well, but really just hoping to speak about the value of arts and culture in tangible and intangible ways. A phrase that I'll come back to is really this idea that art is an essential service and that it should be treated as such. A lot of us are sort of in this situation right now where we're laying in bed, doom scrolling, reading the news. It's not great out there right now. And it's sort of very easy to sort of imagine, like, who cares about art right now when we have all of this conflict and all of these different things going on. There's a new climate disaster every day and like conflict surrounding us, right? And I feel that too, even when I go to bed. I'm spending all day surrounded by arts, and then I also go home and I'm grappling with all of these different things. And where I sort of have landed with it is that in the face of all of that, as you're wondering about if arts and culture really matters, ultimately, we've never needed artists more than we do right now to unpack what's happening around us, to tell these stories, and to make sense of the world that we live in and share those experiences. There was one other time, though, that we realized how much we needed arts and culture, COVID-19. As the world shut down, what did we turn to? We turned to art, music, film, books, online performances, poetry, and unlike ever before, let's skip ahead. Whoa, my slides. Sorry, you're going rogue on me. You ruined my Tiger King joke. No, so skip back a little bit. It'll still be funny, but go back. I have something to say for each of these slides. Back again. I'll do the clicking. Okay. Can you go back? Okay. Murals. So pretend none of that just happened. Let's talk about murals, right? And the impact of public art. We all noticed that and we felt it more than ever. As we had a few minutes to get outside of our homes, you'd wander your neighborhood, and if it looked great, you'd be happy and you were so relieved that there was public art and murals. And if there wasn't any, you're like, oh my God, we need more murals. Realizing how much we deserve art in our day-to-day life and how much we need it. There we go, we're on track. Following that, we also came home to watch Netflix without any artists or filmmakers. There's no Crave, there's no Cineplex, there's no industry in that regard. Here's the Tiger King joke. It wasn't always good art, but we nonetheless had to find ways to entertain ourselves thanks to the creative community, and it's what got us through these times. We turned to books more than ever to bring us on new journeys and broaden our perspectives. If there aren't any writers coming out of Brampton, then there won't be any books coming out of Brampton. Similar with music. Music mattered more than ever. Arts and culture in COVID-19 carried us through the isolation. Artists kept us connected, helped us process what was happening, and gave us hope when everything else felt uncertain. And they still do that today. And that's ultimately the reminder that I'm hoping to share with you today, is that art isn't just an extra and it isn't just a nice to have. It's essential to good city building, and we're going to look at a few key reasons why with some recent findings from the Ontario Chamber of Commerce and Statistics Canada. So, number one, let's just speak about the economic impact. Beyond the emotional and social impact of arts and culture are an economic powerhouse, and in Ontario, they contribute $26 billion to our GDP every year. For every dollar that's invested in the arts, $25 is put back out into the community in revenue. It isn't just good for community to be investing in the arts, but it's smart for business. The arts and business go hand in hand. Creative spaces activate underused real estate, boring main streets, attract people,
reduce vacancy, and even reduce vandalism and crime. BOW's own programs have supported hundreds and thousands, hundreds of local artists and thousands of folks looking to engage with the arts. Each of those artists is a small business in their own right, and they boost civic pride. We need the business community and the art community to work hand in hand and in partnership. Number 3, tourism. Across Canada, cultural-driven tourism generates nearly $11 billion a year, and every dollar spent at a cultural festival results in 7 in local economic activity. If you look at things like TIFF, you can see that it isn't just about great films, but it's about Toronto's hotels, restaurants, and businesses. It's no surprise the huge amount of money that came into Toronto through Taylor Swift's concerts, and the same can happen here if we just believe in it. There's a massive community and business impact through supporting the arts. Brampton can position itself as a cultural hub. Crime comes up sometimes when we speak about Brampton. Communities with more arts and culture are healthier and safer. Studies show that 18% less serious crime and 14% fewer reports of abuse or neglect happen in arts-rich communities. Arts programs with youth reduce reoffenses, build pro-social behaviors, and improve mental health. Number 5, let's talk about health. If you want better health, you need more art in your life. Arts engagement lowers long-term public health costs by reducing the reliance on emergency and acute care. Seniors that participate in arts and culture need less doctors, are less lonely, and in the broader public, mental health is lowered along with stress through exposure to the arts. Next slide is about sports. I love sports as much as the next guy, and I'm going to show you a little bit of proof of that, because I feel like when I talk about arts and culture, sometimes people say, oh, well, he doesn't really care about sports. But I do. That's my dad and I at a soccer game. I travel constantly to see soccer, and I love it. And that's me and my dad. We had a Jays game the other week. So you don't need to convince me that sports are great. But when it comes to Brampton, as much as I love us celebrating the idea that we're the cricket capital of Canada, I think also we need to realize that Brampton can also be the arts and culture capital of Canada. Ultimately, it doesn't have to be one or the other. There's room for both, and it's vital that we support both of them. We can be both the arts and cultural capital of Canada and the cricket capital of Canada. Just to look at sports a little bit more closely, though as much as I love them, as I said, let's compare the numbers. According to Statistics Canada, arts and culture contributes 10 times more to the national economy than sports and creates 6 times more employment. Going back to tourism, the average tourist to a cultural event spends twice as much as a sports event. Brampton needs to be cricket, but it also needs to be concerts. It needs to be soccer, but it also needs to be painting if we want to compete with the other cities around us. Let's talk about Brampton's unique position. Brampton is home to one of the most racially diverse and youthful populations in Canada. Nearly 2/3 of the artists we serve are racialized, and over 1/3 are newcomers, making Brampton a hub of cultural innovation. That is a business advantage that we need to jump on. Arts and culture are part of what will make Brampton attractive for businesses, talent, and investment. We've talked a lot about city building today, addressing things like mixed-use residential with good transit. We also need dedicated space for the arts, like the new Arts and Culture Centre that Council has endorsed for 2028. We need below-market rent programs for local nonprofits and arts and culture organizations. Arts and culture has to be embedded in city planning and urban design. I'm going to finish back where I started. Arts and culture drives economic growth, improves community safety and health, and makes cities competitive on a global scale. Brampton's business community has an opportunity here to partner with the arts, support the arts, invest in cultural infrastructure, and recognize the arts as a key industry for Brampton's future. Art is an essential service for you and your happiness, but also as an essential investment for the city that we live in. Thanks so much.